Hey everyone, Brendan Wiltsey here. I am about to hike up the Wildway Overlook Trail, which is part of the Champlain Area Trails Network, also known as CATS. I'll put a link in the description down below. You can check them out. They have tons of great trails in the Champlain Valley. This particular trail is, I believe it's 1.5 miles round trip, and it looks it goes up the side of South Boquet Mountain and looks south over the Split Rock Wildway. And I've been working on a project with the Northeast Wilderness Trust, also linked down below, to photograph the Eagle Mountain Preserve, which is on the western end of the Wildway over near the J Mountain Wilderness. And so I'm going to be checking this trail out tonight, hoping to capture some good light on the clouds at sunset. And I'm not going to have a direct view of the sunset on this trail, but I think I should have some good color in the sky, and so that's what we're going for today. So I just had a young coyote cross in front of me on the trail about 20 feet away. I was walking really quietly, not making any noise, and it didn't even notice that I was standing right next to it. Unfortunately, I got a little caught up in the holy crap moment of the situation and didn't turn my camera on right away, but I did get a little bit of footage of it running off through the forest. It seemed like it was on a scent track of something. It was pretty laser focused on what it was doing and just crossed perpendicular across the trail. I just sat here nice and quietly and enjoyed a little wildlife sighting. Super cool. I think, pretty close to the top of this little overlook, and I'm just going to keep walking down this trail nice and quietly and see if I see anything else like that. Anyways, awesome experience. Okay, so I was just thinking a little bit more about that wildlife experience I just had, and I think it's worth talking a little bit about the value when you go out into the woods of being conscious of the fact that you're in an environment, you're sharing an environment with other organisms, with other beings. That includes other humans. And when I had that experience, and I've had similar experiences, and I've shared some of them with you on this channel, those experiences almost always come, A, when I'm alone, and B, when I'm being really, really quiet. Which I'm not right now, because I'm talking to all of you, but I think it's worth considering when you're out, even with a group, when you're out, to spend some portion of your hike, some portion of your outing, without earphones in, without music playing, without talking with your hiking partners. Maybe even, you don't want to encourage people to separate too much on the trail, but maybe take a few moments where you're not right on the other person's heels, or you're separated out a little bit farther, you can still see each other, and just listen and observe the forest that's around you and all the life that you find here. You might be amazed at the experiences and the encounters that you have when you take that sort of approach to walking through the woods and taking in these places that we all enjoy and love. So I'm going to do that the rest of my way up to the summit of this little overlook and listen to the birds. Maybe I'll see some more wildlife of some sort, I don't know, but I'm just going to take this all in and enjoy it. Okay, so I made it to the overlook, and the view from up here is pretty incredible. You can see probably a little more than half of the Split Rock Wildway. So right behind me here is Split Rock Mountain, and it extends, the Wildway extends over to the J Mountain Wilderness, and the Eagle Mountain Preserve is on the western end of that Wildway. The whole idea of this Wildway is to establish a wildlife movement corridor from the shores of Lake Champlain, that rich lowland valley, up to the Adirondack High Peaks region and the J Mountain Wilderness in that area. And the experience I just had on the trail with the Coyote really brings home the need for these sort of pathways for wildlife to move across the landscape. And the view from this particular location really gives you a sense of the challenges and the opportunities that these wildlife have moving through this particular area, this really important area. You can see quite a bit of farm fields over near Split Rock Mountain itself, vast expanses of forest and other areas, and a variety of different conservation organizations are working to connect this patchwork of different land uses and land types and different conservation strategies to provide wildlife a way to move from one area to another. And this whole idea was founded, or the idea came from a local conservationist named John Davis, who is nationally known for his work to establish these wildlife movement corridors, and he often embarks on these amazing adventures and journeys across huge swaths of land on a continental scale to show the challenges that these wildlife face in moving across the landscape. And I'll put a link in the description down below to a movie about John's work, and also a book that he just wrote about the Split Rock Wildway. So I'm going to spend a few minutes. The light is getting good. It's really starting to hit the landscape nice. I'm going to set up my camera and my equipment, and I'm going to try and capture an image of this vista here to help tell the story of this landscape and the importance of this conservation work. Finished capturing that image. I used a technique that I've showed before on my channel where I take several images in portrait orientation and stitch them together for a wide landscape view. And this particular view behind me lends itself to that, especially because it has these nice trees sort of framing and bordering the overlook on either side, looking out across that Wildway. I'm going to put links in the description down below for more information about the Split Rock Wildway if you want to learn more about the work that's going in to conserve this land and provide wildlife a passageway to move from the Champlain Valley up to the Adirondack High Peaks region. I'll also put some links in the description about things that you can do on your property to make it more wildlife friendly and more porous to wildlife movement, so you can give opportunity for that coyote and these other animals that I've seen today to move across your land and across the landscape so they can find the habitat that they need. If you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. See you next time.